All right, hello again, everybody. Got a little frog in my throat this morning. What you're noticing on the table, well, hold on, let's start this all over again. Sorry. Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, and I am coming back at you with another Wargaming and Miniature video. And in today's video, we are going to continue on with our weekly, what I call Wargaming Weekly, which is a live stream that I work on miniatures that I'm currently working on. And I talk about just various things. You know, just chit chat about whatever you guys want to talk about. Just post it in the chat. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. And I'm just putting on my gloves to keep my hands clean and keep the paint off and the glue and etc. etc. So how's everybody doing this morning? Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're doing just fine. Okay, so I think I am gonna go grab my 28 millimeter British paratroopers, and I will work on them immediately after we get the wash placed on these guys, which I'm super close to applying a wash on these guys. This is actually a commission. I was working on the American paratroopers last week up until about Friday, and then I had a person contact me about painting some NASA, 2 battalions of NASA. I quoted him a price. He sent back that he thought that was a good price. Let's go ahead and do it. And then I had to dig up my flag sheet, and I noticed that I had the 2 flags for these 2 battalions, but that means I would be short 2 flags for my personal NASA battalions, because as you know, I'm working on a Quatre Bras scenario, which is has some NASA troops in it, and so I have the flag sheet that has these, but then I figured, okay, let's just go ahead and use the ones that I already have, which I'll be attaching these after I put the wash on and put the dull coat on. It'll be one of the last things I do before I base them. I quoted him a 1 or 2 week turnaround time, but because it's a commission, why am I peeking? Okay, maybe that'll help in my volume, and that it doesn't go into the red. All right, so because it's a commission, I have a personal hang-up, personal conviction, or my morals tell me, my upbringing tells me, if somebody asks you to do something, you do it. If you say you're going to do something, let me rephrase that. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. So even though I gave him a 2 week quote, I said 1 or 2 weeks. Mainly that was so that if I ran into any trouble doing these, it gave me a buffer, But I think it'll only take me 3 or 4 days, really, because I started these on Saturday. I washed them, I cleaned them, and then got rid of the burrs and filed the bases, put them on their sticks, and then something unusual happened. I did not spray prime these guys. You might be able to tell by the popsicle sticks still being wood, right? Normally, I would have sprayed these green and then gone from there, but I didn't do that. I actually used the Vallejo gray surface primer on these guys, and this is a very light gray, so I'm actually super happy with it. I brushed instead. I don't have an airbrush, so I used the brushed light gray over the entire models. Did not thin it down or anything. Just went straight from the bottle, and then I started painting from there. I noticed this dried really fast, and it's an acrylic polyurethane, so it's going to have a lot of good durability to it. Okay, so one of the final colors, really I'm holding off on doing the straps until very last thing. It's going to be the straps. I still have, okay, when I was doing another color, I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been the rifles. When I was going through and doing another color, I noticed there was one figure. I don't remember which one it was, so I'll have to go over all the figures. But there was one figure that the cuff was only black on one side and it wasn't black on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's just, I probably don't even need to squeeze it out. I could probably just take take a drop straight out of the bottle and fix that one figure. So once that gets done, and of course I'm going to do this, I'm going to go through and do the flesh for the hands, because the face has already been finished. I didn't do the hands. I waited till after I finished the muskets, which they're all done except for their sling, and the sling is going to be the same color as their straps. Okay, what am I color? Okay, that's right. I was like, what am I painting? Okay, so I got the brass out. There are a couple of figures where they're wearing uncovered shakos. And the uncovered shakos have these brass plates, regimental plates on the front. And so that's what I'm doing right now. And I think it's only the officers and the standard bearers. All right. Now these are Old Glory figures. I'll have to reorder some more soon, because my Old Glory Napoleonics are getting a little thin in the tooth. All right, it was that simple. Brass. Finished. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do some flesh work. I'm using AK's light flesh. It's what I used on the faces. But now we're just going to go over all 48 hands. I guess it's more than that. I guess it's like 96. 96 little hands. I got it. Well, that's not true because the officers are wearing gloves. Oh, you know what? I didn't check to see if the standard bearers should have gloves on. Okay, give me a second. They're not officers, but they are NCOs, so nope. No gloves. Okay. All right. So it's just the officers. So we are going to probably between finishing the or washing these guys and then bringing those other trays over here to work on. I'm probably going to jump to the Flames of War website. I heard that their new Normandy boxes are on pre-order. I don't know if I'm going to pre-order any of them. There is one set. Actually, there's all the sets, but there's specifically one set I'm very excited to look at. And that's the 21st Panzer. Now, my understanding is these are not new sets. These are re-released sets. Like they had released these for a short time and then stopped selling them for some reason. And now they're bringing them back. Yeah. They have like their D-Day specific. So I think they've got Panzer in there as well. That's also one I might be excited to look at. I got introduced pretty heavily into Panzerlehr when I used to run this Command Decision Bastogne campaign. Like when I was stationed in Berlin, I really dug deep into 2nd Panzer, Panzerlehr, and the 26 Volksgrenadiers. And, but I also understand that Panzerlehr was at Normandy. And when I do the hands, I'm now remembering that there's a few faces that I need to touch up. Mainly because I accidentally painted on the face with other colors. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any fingers or anything coming through to the other side of the sling. I mean, I could put some flesh paint there just to give the illusion that the fingers are coming through. But I'm not going to. But there are others, like that figure, where the fingers are clearly visible. Wrapped around the musket. Okay. Touched up his nose. Okay, yep, there we go. He has like no inner cuff. I think that's the one I was looking at. Okay, and so I've got the flags for these guys. So those will probably go on tonight, after the dull coat dries. But I can't base them. He wants them based per a specific base, which is a 3/4 inch by 1 inch, or 20 by 25. Which is the same as Napoleon's battles. But apparently he's playing at his, in his group, they're playing General d'Armée. And I guess that's the way his group bases their figures. Whoever introduced him to General d'Armée probably had a whole bunch of Napoleon's battles based figures. And instead of rebasing, just play that game using that same basing technique, which that's perfectly fine. Because I don't think it matters too much with General d'Armée. I know a lot of people use the black powder basing. He gave me an out, and he said I could base them on a 25 by 25 or 1 inch by 1 inch if it got too crowded. But his first request for that 20mm frontage, I wanted to provide for him. So I went and looked through my bases, and I found some Napoleon's battles bases, but I only had 11, and I needed 12. So I considered just switching to 25mm squares, because I'll tell you right now, I have thousands of those. But I said, nope, I'm going to order some Napoleon's battles bases. So I went to War Bases. They've got some really cool prices, right? It's super cost effective from War Bases. But I was thinking it would take a month for me to get them. So I went to Litco and I paid for the 2-day shipping. So I'm going to anticipate it by Wednesday. I think I ordered this on Friday night. But you know, with the weekend, you can't count that. And I checked my email this morning and I didn't see anything from Litco saying that they had shipped it. Um, so they'll probably ship it today. Oh, yeah. These drumsticks, they've got a they've got a I don't know what you call it. You know, there's like this little soft striker head on the end of the drumstick. I haven't painted those soft striker heads. I was planning on painting them something like a khaki or something like that. So I should probably pull the color out that I'm going to be painting those. Hmm. Maybe a buff or a beige. Yeah, that'll work. All right, 1 battalion down. With flesh, that is. Smallest of small drops. So my microphone situation is taken care of. I thought about returning the microphone that I just recently bought. But I thought, nah, let me just hold on to it just in case I ever have a real microphone emergency. But then again, I thought I could probably sell it, or I'm just going to hold on to it. A lot of different things went through my mind. Because right now, at this minute, I don't need it. I've got my two Yetis, and they're both working just fine. So I've got another episode of my boot camp. The O Group boot camp is up. I think it's called episode 2, Deploying the Battalion. What it really goes over is you're starting deployment, like how many figures you get to put on the table at the start of the game. And at the end of the video, I talk about combat patrols. Which is really a huge aspect, a huge component. It seems very innocuous, like it's not that important or whatever. But I found that combat patrols are a huge reason why I like these rules. Apparently, I got some of this wood color on my cuffs. So I might need to just go over every figure, touch up their cuffs. Excuse me. Oh, I got some more news. I feel like I need to do a store news update, which I might do later, like immediately after lunch or something. Because I do have another piece of news. Oathmark. Not Oathmark. Not Oathmark. Well, let's back up. You know that I've been kind of psychologically gearing up to maybe paint some Oathmark armies. Because I like the Oathmark rules. But there is something nagging at the back of my head about Oathmark. It's a regimental game. And the figures are man to man. So every figure represents one figure. Just like the old Warhammer Fantasy or whatever. But you're only playing with like 3 or 4 units on the table. And the size of the units are only about 10 figures. For a small game, that is. So, like one box of figures that comes with 30 figures, you basically make like 2 10-man warrior units and like 2 5-man archer units. And that's your whole army. If it's a small game, it can go up from there. You can add heroes and all this other stuff, monsters. It's got a lot of really cool aspects. I like it. And I can play as big of a game as I want. But that's not kind of what it's geared for. So I was planning on taking my fantasy figures, basing them on 1-inch circles, and then moving them around in a movement tray. In their rank and file. Which, I'm still going to do that. I did order a bunch of movement trays from War Bases. I'm going to compare them to the Litco ones. The Litco ones are pretty cool. And they're MDF. No, I'll take that back. They're plywood. Right? But the War Bases ones are thinner. Instead of being 3 millimeters base and then 3 more millimeters for the lip, the War Base one is only 2 millimeters. From what I read on their site. when I get them in, I'm going to do a little comparison between the Litko ones and the Warbase ones. And I believe the price on the Warbase ones is like 1/10 the price of a Litko. Because I think the Litko is like $10 per tray. And I think the Warbase one is like $1 per tray. But we'll compare them. We'll take a look at the prices as well. Okay. Starting to mess up here. Because I was digging for paint. Let's do this single drop. That way I don't have to dig for paint. And I can stop messing up. Okay. Touch up any faces. Like his chin, his cheek. Okay, I think I should touch everybody up because I think I did on some sticks, but others I didn't. Well, I'm glad I came back because this guy's hand isn't even done. Done on this side. So basically I'm double checking my work right now for the flesh. Okay. That looks good. Hands. Fingers. Faces. And faces. Okay. Yeah, these guys I think I already double checked. Okay. Flesh is good. Okay, this smoke black. I'm going to touch up a handful of collars. There's a few that I see that I got some brown on. I'm also double checking Shakos because I noticed a couple of them didn't look right. Okay, cuffs. Okay. Oh, this is the dude. That was the main dude that needed a collar. I'm sorry, a cuff fixed. The rest I'm just going over as double check. Okay, that looks good. All right. Flying. Well, basically, I'm not painting. I'm just fixing mistakes right now. There's not a whole lot. Okay. Well, there are a few mistakes, just not a whole lot. Okay. All right, beige. Probably can get away with just one drop. Because I'm only doing like 4 little drops on the drums. Well, 8, because there's 4 per battalion. Well, I thought I was going to be getting in a starter army today from Flames of War, but I checked my tracking and it looks like it's not going to get here till the 28th. That's if the tracking can be believed, because it's on the way. And usually it only takes a day or two to get here. But I did get in an American 105 battery. And I also am getting in a Fallschirmjäger assault platoon today. Okay, hold on. I already have the artillery battery, but the Fallschirmjäger should also be here today. And as you know, I want to do a Fallschirmjäger battalion, but I also want to do an American battalion. That's not paratroopers. Okay. The step that I've been dreading. The step that I always dread when it comes to Napoleonic figures is painting their straps. Their cross straps and all that jazz. So, I'm going to take just a second to myself. I'm going to regather my thoughts. And then we'll do them. And that's the last paint I need to put on those figures. So I see you guys are very quiet. Nobody's doing any chatting. That's okay. If you just want to hang out and listen to me rant, chit chat about various things. Now, I'm not in any real rush to finish these officially. Because I haven't received those bases. Okay, like I said I was going to go to war bases and get them. I decided against it. And I went to Litco, made a very minimal order. I think it's just one pack of bases, specifically that scale. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly. Hmm. Okay. Let's just do it. Even if I only do one figure at a time, let's get it done. Oh, and he said something funny to me. The guy that commissioned me to do these figures. He said, don't paint them very well. Because all my other figures are mediocre. And I don't want them looking out of place or something like that. My hand shook. just knowing this is my last color on these figures is what's keeping me motivated. To do these straps. I hate straps. I hate straps more than I hate turnbacks. And I hate them pretty much too. Got to get light on the subject. Got to get a fine brush. And get down in there. Get down in there. I guess that's a little different than get down on it. Come on, Derek. You're almost there. Okay. Now the sling. Whoops. Okay. Almost dropped it. These slings are something special. Close to the top, they got like they folded it over. Come on, get some light on this. I'm done with that stick. Okay. Okay. And not all these figures are the same pose. So you got to really kind of sometimes look and find out where all the straps are. Okay. All right. And I gotta make sure I get, okay, hold on, there we go. I had to get light on it so I could see where these straps are. Nope, that officer doesn't need any straps. Okay. All right. Slings. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm painting with my tongue out. I hate straps. That's a lie. I don't hate straps. I just hate the amount of time that it takes to do the straps. I I honestly don't mind straps. I just dread having to do it because it takes so much time. All right. These light troops look like they're going to be easy. Okay. Just across in the front. I don't see a whole lot of backpack shoulder straps. I know they're there. Oh, slings. Okay. All right. We got 3. I'm going to step up my game on my brush and go with one size small. Well, actually, it's, yeah, one size larger. Got to get light on it, and I got to keep this stick from shifting around. It keeps wobbling in my hand. All right. Spling time. Yep, I think going up a size on my brush, speeding things up a little bit. Because remember, one of my rules is use the largest brush that you can and still get the same detail. And I went from a 5.0 to a 3.0. I'm getting the same detail, but it's going twice as fast. Or so it feels. Maybe I should have timed it. Ooh. Kneeling over with my head down like that and my back bent since I've been painting since probably 4 this morning. Starting to wear on me. Basically, I wanted to get these done. I know I don't have the bases, but I still wanted to get them done so that I could wash them, and then I wouldn't have to do a dull coat on them until tomorrow, so I can let the wash fully dry. And then if I get the bases in tomorrow, that'll be fine. And while all that's happening, I could be working on other figures. So I'm just going to take a short pineapple break. So I've got some, what is this, Del Monte? Del Monte crushed pineapple. Hand selected. Toss with coleslaw. Huh. That might be an interesting flavor. Speaking of coleslaw, My wife doesn't know how to make it. She takes cabbage and slices it up and puts things with it, but it just doesn't taste like coleslaw. It just tastes like a cabbage salad. I wish it would taste like Kentucky Fried Chicken coleslaw. That's my favorite. All right. Hmm. Alrighty. Get back to doing these guys. I've only got 4 bases left. And like the lights don't have any straps in the back. I mean, they're covered by other things. Interesting. Okay, let's just go ahead and do those first. Come on, light. I just got to lean into it, find the light. Okay, so I've got all the lower cross straps. Now let's get the upper. All right. This is the tricky one. I just adopted a shooting position. Brought my elbows in against my ribs. steadies my hands a little bit. All right. Sling time. So when I get these guys finally based up for my customer, I'll show them off on the site. I started a new series called What Have I Done? I originally started that playlist for painting figures that I'm selling at the store. But I think that can include commission work too. I think that would work. Because it is for the store. It's just paint. Oh, this has got a drummer on it. I haven't painted any drummers before? Oh no, I haven't. Okay. Drummers are going to be a little bit difficult. They not only have straps, but they have slashes, so I'm going to save those for the last two sticks. Okay, so these are the lights that don't have any straps on the back. They only have two upper cross straps and shoulder straps. So these are actually probably the easiest. So each battalion has a base of lights, has a base of grenadiers, and is going to wind up having two command bases, but only one of them is going to have a flag. Because they got two standard bearers, two officers, two drummers. But they're only going to carry one flag. All right. So should I use a strong tone or a soft tone? I'm thinking strong tone. Just to really bring out those details. Okay, now here's two stands that I haven't worked on yet. Just do these grenadiers first. Wow, that's like 4 different poses. Somebody's mowing the lawn outside and they ran over something. I don't know if you heard it grinding. Okay. I appreciate that the Old Glory pack has grenadiers with epaulets or gull wings. It comes with 8 grenadiers, and 4 of them have epaulets and 4 of them have gull wings. You know, the padded poofy wings on the side. I guess they're not gull wings. They're the padded poofy rolls, the shoulder rolls. What are those called? Are they just called rolls? Shoulder rolls? Because the British shoulders are gull wings. But they actually are fuzzy and ribbed. These are not fuzzy, they're just rolls. Okay. That's one grenadier, not the drummers. Okay. Got all the lowers. Now we're doing the two upper crosses. Okay. Huzzah. Slings. Okay, the slings are done. Now for these drummers, I'm going to go back to my 5.0 brush. We're going to start with our apron. Okay. Painting these little shoulder things are like super. Gotta like really take my time. It's not got any paint. Okay. Okay, those are good. Wow. Okay, 2 guys left. Aprons. Okay. Oh, something I didn't see on the other figure. I have to double check. Oh, yep, it's there. There's a belt goes around the waist. I'm sure it's holding up the apron. All right. Alright. Now we do the wings. And then they're done. All right. Gotta use a wash. Where does this one go? Those glasses have got to come off. Oh, we got a chat. All right, what do we got going on here? Looks like Hive Mind is asking, what minis are you painting? Well, Hive Mind, what we're painting today is 15 millimeter Old Glory. That's the manufacturer. Nassau Napoleonics. There's 2 battalions here of 24 figures, which is basically one bag of miniatures. You get 48 figures in a bag. And my customer wanted me to go ahead and paint these up for him. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to be able to base them until my base order arrives, but that should be in the next few days. And then once they're based, locked, and textured, then I'll let him know that, you know, they're ready, and then I'll wait for his payment. Okay. I think this brush should be good for my wash. I think I'm going to do strong tone. I think I said I was going to do strong tone. Oh, we got another chat. Dang, they're flowing in. I got to switch glasses every time because I can't see the computer with my painting glasses. Okay, Jacob, what is that? Gramek. He says, thanks for co-painting. While watching, I was painting my Mongolian infantry, 28 millimeter. All right, Mongolians. All righty. And then HiveMind comes back and says, I've been playing tabletop RPGs for a while and watched all of your traveler videos. And me and my friends have had a game going for more than a year now. I appreciate all that you do. Thank you very much, smiley face. Um, cool. This Wednesday there should be a new game. Uh, yeah, they're getting ready to go into the vault. I don't know if you're following my current campaign that I've got running right now, but we've switched to an every other Wednesday, and this Wednesday should be the game. They're on a planet. They're in a radiated, rubbled city. Uh, in search of a treasure vault. Well, they found the vault, and they have a key, but the key's broken. So they're gonna. It's electric. It's old. You know, it's a couple hundred years old. But they're gonna try to get into the vault and see what kind of treasures they can get. But they're working for someone else, and they're sitting. I don't even remember what the percentages are, but it's close to 50-50. Okay, I only did 30 drops. Normally I do 40. And then with my little thinning flow aid mixture, I usually do half as many drops. No, I don't. I do 3 to 4. So wait a second. If I do 30, um, 15 would be half, and then about 7-ish more. So I'm going to go with 20. I'm just going to go with 21. The reason why I went like that, so I want the wash to flow pretty much like the spice. The spice must flow. No, I want it to run down the miniature, but only gather in the cool areas. If that makes sense. And nope, these glasses aren't doing it for me. I'm going to have to put my binoculars on. See, there's another chat or two. I'll get to them in just a moment. Thank you, guys. Keeping me company this morning. I've got almost every edition of Traveler. Some of them I like better than others. They're not all equally good. But they all have their own feel when you're playing them. You can actually well, at least I do. I get like a different vibe depending on which edition of Traveler I play. But I am playing the Mongoose 2023 version. I say 2023 because it's a 2020 rulebook, 2022 rulebook, but a bunch of my supplements that I've added say 2023 on them. So there. So I'm just so you know, I'm running the campaign Pirates of Drinax. Um, but I'm not holding their hands. So if they want to go off course or if they want to go after a treasure ship or whatever they want to do, I'll provide them with like clues and hints. And then if they want to go after it, they can. If they don't want to go after it, they don't have to. I mean, but if you're an adventurer and if you claim to be an adventurer, you'll pretty much do anything the referee puts in front of you just for the adventure. I mean, that's the way I roll. But not everybody rolls that way. Yeah, I see a couple more chats, but I haven't been. I'll get to them when I get done washing these guys. My Coke bottle glasses here don't let me see the computer monitor very clearly. So I can't just glance over there and read. Okay, I don't think 30 drops was going to be enough. Normally I do 40, but I usually have a little bit left over. So I thought I'd go back a little bit and only use 30. Now, depending on how far I get into these figures, with 30 drops of wash, will kind of give me a clue on how many drops I need to finish whatever's left over. I'll just have to do some math. Okay, well, before I go on to the next figure, let's see what we got. It won't be too hard to switch over right now. Did I put the right glasses on? I can't see squat. Hold on. No, I did not. Ah, much better. Okay. The spice must flow. That is true. Jacob says, have a nice day. Well, thank you. And Hive Mind asks, which edition do I think is my favorite? Well, I'm currently running Mongoose 2.5, right? I say second edition, but it's the 2022 edition. I actually like that edition quite a bit. Is it my favorite? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I would say Mega Traveler runs a close second. The mechanics, not the timeline, not the time of Mega Traveler. The rules mechanics. Because I'm not a fan of the Civil War. I guess I don't have a problem with, because wherever you're playing is probably loyal to one faction or the other. So you really don't have to worry about that. The only time you have to worry about it is when you're cross faction lines. Or if you're playing some kind of, I guess it lends well to like mercenary play and stuff like that. But when I played Mega Traveler, I played it in the old timeline, just the classic Traveler timeline. But I'm not a fan of the virus. There's Traveler the New Era. They kind of ruined Traveler for me. Not really. Just that rule set and that the lore and stuff. I don't like the new era rules, and I don't like the era. And then I tried Traveler Milu Zero. T4, I guess, is what it's called. Mark Miller's Traveler is also what it's called. Mark Miller being the original designer of Traveler. He basically went back to the drawing board and came up with a pretty good rule set. Took what he learned from the previous 3 sets and kind of made a T4, and it works pretty good. I even ran a few adventures in Milu Zero. Which I thought was a pretty cool concept. I even wrote an adventure for I didn't write it for Milu Zero. Okay, let me back up. The next set that I got was called T20, which was the D20 open license version of Traveler. So if you like Pathfinder or D&D 3.5, T20 is right there. Remember when they were releasing all these genres called D20s, like D20 Modern or D20 Gangs or D20 this, D20 that? Well, Traveler made a D20 game, but they called it T20. And I bought it because I was always gonna Traveler, and I hated it. But before I realized I hated it, I thought it would be a really good opportunity for me, because there was no support material, just a rule book. So I thought to myself, let me write a module. I wrote a module. A friend of mine called Brian Gibson, I don't know if you know who that is, but he's the artist in most of the Mega Traveler books. I had him, FYI, I met him through the SCA actually. But I had him do some artwork for me and wrote an adventure. Contacted, I think at the time it was called Far Future Enterprises, but it might have been something else. I don't remember. But I contacted them and they said, hell yeah, we'd love to have some modules written or whatever. And then I wrote it. And then I had a little convention at my store. Because I don't know if you know this, but I used to own a store called the War Room here in Clarksville, Tennessee. Back in the late 90s. And up to like 2002 or something like that. And we play tested it at one of my conventions because I hosted a number of different conventions. And I hated it. I hated the game. I never did like D&D 3.5, so I don't know why I was going to think this T20 was going to be any different. Yeah, the adventure was about the players being stranded on a planet and an Imperial patrol cruiser came and rescued them. Heard their, distress signal or whatever. And you were caught up in a mutiny on this ship. So you had different factions you could support. Be like loyalists or rebels kind of deal. Okay. So if that's 30 drops, that means 10 drops will get me 2 bases. I have 2 bases left. We're going with 10 drops. And with 10 drops, that means 7 or 8 of these. That should be good. And we'll see. All right, no new chats. Okay, cool. Now, both of these are the drummers and grenadiers. Okay. Yeah, but I would have to say the Mongoose first edition was pretty good. And then when second edition came out, they did fix a few things. Um, well, I'm not going to say fix because it wasn't really broken, but they changed a few things. And I had no problem with the changes. I think they were all for the better. And then when the 2022 edition came out, I only noticed a couple of differences. And and it's almost not worth getting this 2022 edition because the changes are so minor. Not minor, I should say few. There's only like two changes, but they're both pretty serious. It has something to do, I don't remember now, but it has something to do with the way the dice are read. So it's not really that big of a difference, but it is. All right. Yeah, I didn't mean to do the front and back all in one swipe, but I did. I don't know, in my last live stream, I mentioned something about 2 battalions maximum in 2 days. Well, guess what? I just did 2 NASA battalions in 2 days. Well, I guess you could technically say three because I got them ready on Saturday, like cleaned up the molds and got them on their popsicle sticks and okay. I'm going to give those guys 24 hours to dry before I do a dull coat. I do need to go take a tinkle in the little boy's room. So give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back. I'm almost back. Almost. Well, I'm back, but I'm taking my gloves off. All right, guys. Okay. Let me get some real glasses on. We're gonna switch up the screen a little bit. I'm gonna switch it to the webcam. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna switch it to the webcam. I'm gonna get rid of this other camera that's in my face because you don't need to see the figures because they're just drawing. But we're getting ready. We're winding down the stream because I'm gonna have some lunch here in a moment. But as promised, I did say I wanted to go to a website. So let's close that up a little bit. Why is all this stuff turned off? I don't know. So let's move that out of the way. Why is that up high? Hold on, let's change that. Boop, boop, there we go. And do that, do this. Okay, why is it only showing that much of the site? Let's try this. Yeah, the controls on OBS has changed quite a bit. And I am not struggling with it, but okay. Now why can't I? Oh, I can. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay. So, new to Flames of War? No. D-Day Force and Normandy pre-order now. Okay, well that's a video. We don't want to watch a video. I mean, I do, but no, I don't. Normandy pre-orders. Now, see, look at that 21st Panzer Division. That's what I am looking for. Okay, not really, but let's, I mean, I am, but let's see what we got here. Pimp your bunker. Okay, I don't care about any of that. Inside, you will find all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, cool. There is a new book. Just throwing this out there, guys. What's funny is this doesn't come out until after D-Day. It's supposed to be a celebration of D-Day, and it doesn't come out till the 8th or something. Somebody told me it was the 8th. But let's take a look. The new book has all of the separate D-Day books compiled into one. That's pretty cool if you play Flames of War. Oh, wait, we got a question. Can't see that, but now you can't. It says, one question, how does it feel to be able to still play RPGs and paint minis while being your age? That is actually a pretty cool question. Or it's an interesting question. I only feel as young as I feel, right? I think I'm still a child. So even though I got a family and I got a son who's an adult and stuff like that, I now remember, or at least I remember when I owned my own store, and even before that, there were people that would come into my store that were way older than me, right? I mean, way older than I am now. And they would play games, they would have their miniatures, and so I still got a long way to go to catch up to them. Okay, so I think it's cool though. Okay, Panzer Lear. Okay, let's see if I can't. Okay, there we go. That's the best I'm gonna do. Panzer Lear. Get a bunch of half tracks. Wait a second. I clicked on it. I don't know what's happening. 145. I want to go back. This button doesn't go back. The book is $60, it looks like. This button is my back button. Okay, hold on. It opened a completely different window, that's why. Okay, Panzer Lear. It looks like it comes with 9 half tracks. Anti-tank guns. Looks like a flak gun. A couple of them. Looks like an objective marker. A couple of them. Interesting. Well, it says it right there. Well, it doesn't really say everything. But this is the one I was interested in. I am in my early 30s, and I also have a wife who also shares my love for RPGs. That's you found a good one then. When I am a player since when I was 8 years old. Lord of the Rings. Which Lord of the Rings? The rotoscoped one? The Ralph Bakshi cartoon or the new, uh, I say new, it's probably old by now, but like the trilogy. Okay, so hold on, what do we got here? See, because this has all the like French, not all the French vehicles, but it has the, what do they call them? The 304s. This has 21 vehicles. I'm going to click it. 180. Holy crap, they're she's Hotchkiss assault guns. That's this guy right here, right? It says you get 7 of them. Oh, are these guys Hotchkisses too? They look like it. All of these are Hotchkisses. A Panzer Grenadier platoon, 304Fs, that's really what I want right there. But I need more than 4. Lorraine Schleppers, self-propelled guns, 231, 10 unit cards, blah, blah, blah. A Lorraine Schlepper for observation post. Interesting. Okay, but I don't know if it's interesting enough for 180 bucks. This would have been good to get started with, but I have all these. I don't have the objectives, but that's okay. I don't need them. And then the British 7th Armored. Fireflies. Shermans. Half-track Sextons. Comets and Cromwells. See right there, 8 June. Book and Army deals. Releases. Remastered resin and metal releases. Oh, okay. Pre-order, 14 bucks. Okay, what is... There's a Con Church alternate paint scheme. Because these Battlefield in a Box, I think, come pre-painted. It's a nice looking church, though. I don't know if it's $60 nice. Okay, I don't need these. I do kind of want these. But those look exactly like the NVA ones they make. For Team Yankee. $45. Okay, this is $35, and you get... Okay. That's a 1-in-1. Okay, I can make those. I can scratch build those. Yeah, I can scratch build that. Yeah, they're too expensive. I mean, just straight up. For me, they're just way too expensive. When I was older, I was able to see other Lord of the Rings and Hobbit adaptations. Yeah, the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings was pretty good. I mean, it was a pretty good series. And then Games Workshop made their made those miniatures. That was a long time ago. That those miniatures came out when I still had my store. Okay, there was something else that had been released, not just these Flames of Wars. What did I say? Well, I was going to look at two things. Oh, right. Okay. I went on a tangent or a tirade or whatever you call it. Um, yeah. When I was talking about Oathmark, and I said there was just a little bit something about that game that just leaves a little bit something to be desired because, you only have like 40 figures on the table. And I've been really looking at this game called Baron's War because it's a medieval game, skirmish, a lot like Lions Rampant, um, but it's a Dark Age, uh, 12th century kind of game, um, right about the same time period that Harn takes place. So I think it would be a really good game to supplement a Harn campaign if you wanted to play miniatures. But there's no fantasy element in Baron's War. It's just different barons from the period or fighting against each other. Yeah, Baron's War. Um, yeah, the Baron's War right there. Not super expensive, 22 bucks. I've been thinking about getting it, but then hold on, let's stop. They they have something called Baron's War. It's new. It's not even new yet. It's still in concept. Fantasy Skirmish. Now this is tabletop Beast of War. Ignore all that. Here it is. Baron's War Fantasy Skirmish. And on this cover here, you see orcs and goblins. Or, I'm sorry, goblins and orcs and elves. And so when I heard this announcement, and I was already planning on playing Baron's War, I thought I would like hold off and wait until this fantasy edition comes out and then jump on that. Yeah, I don't. Did you already take a look at some of the figures? I think they're just concepts right now. Yeah, here we go. Like that's the goblins or orcs. They look pretty cool. And of course, you can use any of your goblins and orcs, I'm sure. And there's a mountain orc on a warg or a wolf or something. That actually looks pretty damn cool. I don't know what all this is. That brings me back to the same thing. That's not a link. Okay. I think it's still okay, hold on. This looks like Facebook. Yeah, and Wargames Atlantic had just released one of their 6 boxes, The Age of Chivalry. So I'm excited for those too. You get 24 models in that box. And it's Wargames Atlantic, so you know their quality is going to be good. Okay, that's just Wargames Atlantic stuff. And here's one of the Elven heroes. Yeah, and he looks like he's going to battle. He doesn't look like a pansy wansy little elven punk. You know, you want your oh yeah. And they revealed that they're eventually going to be doing dwarves as well. Of course, you know, you got to do all of them. But there's an elven, I think that's an elven archer. Looks pretty cool. I'm okay with it. And I'm really okay with this dwarf. So, and there's Baron's War. But, really? What is going on? Okay, and what? Okay. Oh my gosh. That's good. Um, yeah, so we're gonna call it. It's a little after 12. Oh, wait, what do you got on here, Jacob? You say, yeah, okay. Victrix. Hey, Jacob, have you been to my store? Are you new to my channel? I guess you are. That's okay. It's super cool. I don't know if you can see behind me. You see these boxes right there? Those are all Victrix models. Yeah, I'm a Victrix dealer and I carry a bunch of Victrix models. Um, so yeah, you don't have to tell me Victrix is pretty awesome. I agree, they are. They're I do a lot of their like Romans and uh mostly their ancient stuff. You know, like their Romans, their cavalry and their stuff like that. Macedonians. Um, I have some of their Napoleonics, but I mean personally, but they make what do you call them, like Vikings and Saxons nowadays, and those might work really good with the Barons War as well. Yeah, have you looked at V and V? Uh, V and V is like Vlad and Vlad. I don't remember who the second guy's name is, but I'm thinking about carrying these guys. Um, I don't know why that didn't just pop up. Oh, it was. It did pop up. Yeah, V and V miniatures. Um, just so you know, oh, you don't see this. I'm sorry. I shut it down. Yeah, V&V miniatures. These guys are, I think they're in Kharkiv. You know what I mean? Like in Ukraine. I think. I'm trying to remember. But I am a dealer of these guys. I haven't gotten my first order in though. We've already made arrangements. Everything's good. I just haven't placed an order. But they are just recently, in the last month or so, they've started releasing metal miniatures. Um, Almost all their miniatures are plastic. But look at, oh, I didn't know they did 100 Years War. Hold on. Okay, but they're plastic. Let's go back to the plastic. You can get 54, 40, 28. Let's go to 28. Look at the selections over here. Hey, Jacob, you're from Poland? Oh, then you should be able to get them pretty quick. Or you might be able, when the world is not on fire, you might be able to go visit them. Okay, hold on. I did buy some character figures. I got them in just to see. Oh no, maybe they weren't characters. Hold on, I don't remember. I ordered like a dozen models just to see the quality of the figure because I didn't want to put a big order in if I wasn't going to like the figures. I'm scrolling down. I think he's close to the bottom. Okay, maybe he's not a Norman. Maybe he's a Crusader. Yeah, probably. This guy. I ordered that guy. I got him in, and he looks good. Now, I haven't painted him yet, but yeah, I was like, that's pretty awesome. And when the figure came in, I was like, yeah, these guys would work really well. Plus, they've got 100 Years' War and they have Romans. They got onagers and scorpions and now, of course, I've got it set for US dollars, but you can set it for the language. Oh, wait. Well, I guess I have to click it. What is that, Euro? Yeah, you can go to Euro and you can see, like, Poland uses the Euro, right? Yep, they do. And if you're interested in, like, Carthage, that's the extended set. This is like the normal set. There's a guy on YouTube, you can probably search it and find it. There's a guy who assembles this model and paints it up. And when I watched, see, it's ideal for games like Saga, but no, I'm thinking these miniatures are also great for the Barons War. Pagan, Orthodox. Wait, Normans? Yeah, Normans look pretty cool. I love the kite shields. I've always liked kite shields. You get a big group of crossbowmen if you wanted. But they've also expanded into metal figures. I'm not sure exactly how fast they will uh, be able to ship or any of that. But to the U.S., it it only took it when I put my order in. This was almost 6 months ago. It was almost exactly 6 months ago. The order came in right about a month. No, not even that long. Maybe 3 weeks. All right, guys. Well, before Oh, there's a rock band? Okay. Actually, the postage didn't hurt that bad. It didn't. It, I didn't think it was that bad, but I did put in a very small order, like 10 models. Um, all right, I gotta let you guys go. I gotta eat something. Um, and I normally don't stream this long. Normally, I only stream from about 9 to 11:30. I think I will be back tomorrow. Um, and tomorrow, if if yeah, I might be working on my British paratroopers for the store. If I get the if I get the bases if I get the bases in unannounced, we'll we'll go ahead and base these guys up. But I don't think I'll be doing that tomorrow. Probably not. All right, guys. That's it. And you guys all take care. And I will see